is up, YouTube? Frost the Hobidon here, and today I am back with another reaction video for all of you, and I'm sorry for the long wait. I want to let you guys know that I am trying to try my best to make these videos up for you guys as possible, but I'm glad to be here, and I hope to have this video uploaded by the time it's finished uploading, making this video. And today we're going to be doing a reaction video to Screw Attack's Death Battle, Magneto versus Tetsuo. I am familiar with these two, but it's been a while since I've seen Tetsuo from Akira, because it's been an old classic. It's been an old movie of mine that I have watched for a very long time. But this might bring back some memories. There are some memorable moments about this character, but I know a lot about Magneto, and there probably be some things I don't know about Magneto, because it's been a long time since I seen the character in action. Since how Marvel comics are nowadays, they haven't had the X-Men in the MCU yet, so hopefully they make them more faithful to the comics than Fox Fishery could. But if you do like this video, leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe for more future videos, and please hit that notification bell for other future videos to be updated. Now, if that's it, let's get on to the action, shall we? In 3, 2, 1. Go. All right, we know the rules here. We all know the rules here. Make sure to support the official release. And before we do this video, like I said, the last chance before you see my reaction, go watch the video first and then see my reaction. I'll wait. All right, that's enough waiting. Let's go.
Magneto, Marvel's mutant master of magnetism.
That is true.
Akira's telekinetic terror of Neotoku.
He looks so different in the manga than he is in the movie.
These two maestros of kinesis
Ultimate
have
Alliance
ignited
3.
revolution not just in their worlds, but also the very mediums they exist within.
Yes.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
All right, let's do this. First off, we're doing Magneto. I will be pausing the video to explain my thoughts on the character.
Civilization. Likely no conflict tested humanity more than the Second World War.
Oh,
in the
yes,
primary
most
Marvel
definitely.
616 universe, this fact is no different.
Correct.
Especially to the Eisenhart family and their only son.
Like I said, Stan Lee, when he makes the Marvel universe, he wanted to be close to the realistic world. Why all the characters are in New York City. We all know the rules. How Marvel universe is basically more relatable, while DC is more inspirational.
You may know him as Magnus, Eric, or
Magnus.
Max, but if you ask him, he'd say his true name is Magneto.
Yeah,
as a Jewish child,
he is like that. Magneto, real name Max. I have no idea how to pronounce that. That's a Jewish name. Max crap. Eric Lenzler and Magnus. His height, he is 6 feet and 2 inches tall. Wow, that is tall. He's 190 pounds. He is an Omega level threat mutant. That is true. He is the group of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, the X-Men, and the Fire Club. He dislikes discrimination, Nazis, and wooden guns. There's an animation. In case you don't know about the wooden gun, animation, Mr. Fantastic tricked Magneto with a wooden gun. I like the callbacks to that.
Germany, Magneto's early life was, well,
from the Fantastic Four, the wooden gun thing.
Even after eventually escaping certain death with his future wife, misfortune always followed wherever he went.
Thanks to his unexpected mutation called the X gene, the mark of a superhuman.
And yeah, the X genes, what basically unlocks human beings with their mutant powers. That might have been caused by the Celestials. Who knows?
After settling down in Russia with his new family, the KGB quickly found out about this quirk. So they burned his house down with his own daughter inside.
Oh no, that's I thought he was tortured by the Nazis. He's a Holocaust survivor. I thought Magneto was tortured by the Nazis when he was little. I guess the Fox Century didn't do that as well. I don't see that in the animation as well.
Naturally, he snapped and killed them all.
Very understandable.
I'd do that too. Too bad his wife didn't get it and ditched him, though.
Oh, man. She rejected him. She took down the police officers who killed his daughter just because he was a mutant. He took him down, and his wife just let them, calling him a monster. I see why Magneto hates humans.
But that's when Magneto made a choice. Since humans hurt him his entire life, he'd
Yep.
do the same to them in the name of mutants everywhere.
At first, Magneto turned to the telepathic powerhouse Charles Xavier and his fledgling team of heroes. But his
they became
friend
friends.
wasn't thrilled with the idea of, subjugating
that
the
face.
human race. So, Magneto formed his own team of mutants, the Brotherhood.
Magneto can
The Brotherhood of
telekinetically
Mutants. Yeah, just mind the evil mutants. Yeah, they were trying to show that he was the bad guy.
move, bend, and reshape any metal he's aware of.
Let's see his power set. Magnetic kinesis, flight, magnetic barriers, energy manipulation and absorption, biological manipulation, matter manipulation. Oh, wow, I did not know about that. Know about the matter manipulation. I guess matter is part of everything. Extraordinary projectiles, gravity manipulation, telepathic and mind resistance, astral projections, and wormhole creation.
Bullets, vehicles,
Okay.
buildings, you name it. Even himself when he manipulates his personal magnetic field for flight and energy barriers.
That is true.
Magnetic kinesis is far more versatile than it would appear at first glance. The blood in your body has iron in it. The air has traces of lead and mercury. Whole mountains are
Magneto technically keeps his barriers in place at all times during combat, even while using his powers on other things.
lined with metallic ore.
Good.
The
That is
Earth
true.
itself is surrounded by a literal magnetic field.
That
So
is very
many
important.
toys for Maggie to
The
play
magnetic
with.
field
He
on
can
Earth
detect
is very
magnetic
important.
Fields at such a huge range, he can even pinpoint Earth's magnetic rays while stranded on a planet in another galaxy.
Wow,
And guess what?
I didn't
He was
know
able
about
to
that.
Use those rays to pull himself back to Earth in a single day.
His
What?
range is even more remarkable
Okay.
than that. Did you know that in 1820, physicist Hans Christian Ørsted discovered that electric currents, like those of electrons and protons and atoms, produce
Mm-hmm.
their own magnetic fields? Magneto can fine-tune his control to affect these very subatomic particles.
Okay,
Dummy
this
here
is
will
this is what I'm
illustrate
talking
such a
about. I'm learning
particle
something
with
new about
positively
Magneto.
charged protons and negative
Oh,
electrons.
dummy.
My life is as meaningless as an atom is small.
Come on, dummy. Why you gotta be negative?
So what you're saying is Magneto could, like, yank one of those out.
Correct,
Oh, he
potentially
can't-
changing an atom's
Got it.
entire chemical makeup. However, neutrons do not have a charge, and without the
Oh, no,
ability
Boom
to
said, "What are you
adjust
doing?"
those to accommodate the change in atomic mass, the atom would become unstable and
Finally!
He was excited to die. What, dummy? Wow, you were excited to explode.
do that.
That is true.
Magneto's
Removing a single electron or neutron from an atom will cause it to devastation results. It's very devastating. It will cause it to explode or destroy. 'Cause messing with its structure will do that to it.
violent protest against humankind clashed with Xavier's peaceful reconciliation. Not unlike the ideologies
Yeah, Magneto makes it difficult for mutants to be seen as the good guys when Charles Xavier is trying to show that humans and mutants can live in peace because they do live in the same world.
taught by Malcolm X and Dr. King.
That is also true. When Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created these characters, Charles Xavier and Magneto were inspired by Martin Luther King and Professor X and Malcolm X. Malcolm X is basically, well, Magneto, and Charles Xavier was Martin Luther King for inspiration. That's where Stan Lee and Jack Kirby got these inspirations from, and a lot of people doesn't know that. Stan Lee did say that the whole mutants being treated as monsters by humans was an inspiration to segregation and adding real-world events in the mix of the Marvel Universe. So, yeah, it's a little lesson to all of you out there for Marvel history and real history.
By whom Stan Lee and Jack Kirby were inspired. Magneto would spend most of his career pushing Xavier away to prove his philosophy's superior. which
Magneto
meant
is very
doing battle
stubborn.
with Xavier's school of thought, quite literally.
I love the 80s. I love the 90s X-Men. It's a classic. It's the Magneto showing that mutants are the superior race than humans. Charles Xavier is telling us that mutants and humans can live in peace. It's a very difficult battle between the two. And the fact that these two still respect each other as friends, but still they're enemies, that's saying something, because Magneto does care about other mutants. He's not a heartless being. He cares about other mutants. He will protect them at all costs. It's just that he has a hatred towards humans.
And Baldy's mind powers are no joke, but thanks to Magneto's psionic repelling helmet, Professor X couldn't touch him.
Through his helmet is the most effective tool for shutting out any telepathic attacks. Xavier and any other telepaths even struggles to affect his mind when he's wearing this helmet. That helmet is very, very useful. It's an annoyance because you can never read this man's mind as long as he's wearing that helmet, because he knows he doesn't like people or any telepaths reading his mind. Telepaths like Jean Grey can't get through it, and Charles Xavier, and I forgot the girl with the diamond, Emma Frost, that's her name. She can read people's minds.
Magneto survived Cyclops' earth-splitting lasers, absorb.
Pull the backward bullet to near light speeds, flew between galaxies in a short time frame, punch Iron Man with the force of the suns, overpowered Hercules and Thor's hammer, ripped apart Wolverine's adamantium skeleton. Oh wow, I'll explain that. Survive neutralizing a neutron star bullet, resistance mental attacks from Professor X and Emma Frost, and has defeated the X-Men, the Avengers, Red Skull, and Apocalypse. That has happened.
The power of the sun to battle Iron Man, rip the adamantium skeleton out of.
Yeah, ripping adamantium out of Wolverine, that has happened in the 616 comics. And in the, fun fact, in the Ultimate Universe, Earth 1610, when the worst event in the Ultimate Universe, Ultimatum, Magneto went nuts, and when the X-Men confronts him, he ripped out the adamantium out of Ultimate 1610's universe's Wolverine, and that Wolverine died. 616 Wolverine survived that very same thing and was okay, but 1610 Wolverine died from that. It shows that the Ultimate Universe are way weaker than 616.
Of Wolverine's body, and even taken on Hercules himself. You know, the Greek legend, Zero to Hero.
Yeah, he went toe-to-toe against Hercules, the god of strength, similar to Thor.
Guy who held up the skies of Olympus for Atlas? That hurt.
That is insane. He fought the same Hercules who helped lift up the entire sky. That's great. That has happened in Greek mythology, and only in Greek mythology, and they took elements from that. I guess Hercules in the Marvel Universe did the same thing as well.
Hercules.
It's one of his labors.
Seems sensible. Magneto once used the Earth's magnetic field to overwhelm the Phoenix Force, which.
Yep, I'm going with Magneto in this. If he managed to go toe to toe and hold down the Phoenix Force, yeah, Magneto for the win.
Can effortlessly destroy planets.
While the Phoenix's full power is far greater than any planet level, she has been weakened prior to Magneto's defeating her, and is beyond him at her full strength.
Let alone far more.
Hell, if he really wanted to, Magneto could totally just fling the Earth off its axis.
Yeah, that is true. This image of Magneto is from the Ultimate Universe. This version of Magneto killed his Wolverine. And yeah, that Wolverine's staying dead. This is Earth 1610 Magneto. He's the one who caused Ultimatum because his children were killed by the humans. He was so angry, he decided, I'm going to tilt the Earths off its axis and mess up the entire planet. It killed off so many Marvel characters. It was one of the worst events in the Ultimate Universe. And he killed Wolverine. And when he realized what he has done, he was killed for it. 1610 Magneto is dead by Cyclops of all people. And then Ultimate Cyclops was killed and shot in the head by a human who has a hatred towards mutants. So yeah, 616 Magneto can do the same thing like his Ultimate counterpart, but he didn't. He didn't, because that would really make a lot of fans angry if he did that.
It's entirely possible he may have eventually resorted to just that. Over time, it became clear Magneto's war was doing far more harm than good for his fellow mutants, however well-intentioned he may have been at first.
Luckily, he later realized he was going a bit overboard, and
yes, Magneto in the main universe can realize that even though he's one of the most popular main villains, he can realize that he's went too far. He has a conscience. He has a conscience. You know what I'm trying to say.
began reevaluating his perspective. Good for you, Mags. It's really tough to recognize when you're the
reevaluating his perspective.
It took time and patience, not just from Magneto, but...
Yep, this is the Krakoa story. That Magneto and all the mutants and the X-Men, they formed their own country. Currently in the Marvel Universe, they formed their own country, their own world, and formed a peace treaty with the humans. There are some supervillains who are trying to destroy the mutants, but they have their own world. They live in peace, and they will help out the heroes on Earth when they are needed. And Magneto has chilled out a lot.
Also from his peers, yet eventually his path was completely changed. He even became a leader for Xavier's X-Men.
But don't let his new goody two-shoes ways fool you. Whenever there's a threat to mutants, you can bet Magneto will be there to annihilate it. Forever, by any means necessary.
You're right about that. Despite Magneto is one of the most powerful villains in the Marvel Universe, he still has a heart, and he will protect mutant kind, as well as children who have mutant powers as well. He still doesn't like humans due to his past, but he still protects this world because it's still his home. All right.
Over
Tetsuo's
30 years
turn.
ago, a new type of bomb was set off over Tokyo, and 9 hours later began the Third World War.
Oh, man.
Welcome to 2030, or 2019 if you're watching the anime.
2030. And yeah, 2019. We're past 2019, and the future does not look like this.
The buildings are taller, the motorcycles are cooler.
The buildings are taller, and the motorcycles are indeed cooler in this universe. Sadly, they don't exist. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe someone out there can make motorcycles that look like that.
And the future is brighter. Oh, wait, not really. If you find yourself in the Capsule Gang, you'll meet Shotaro Kaneda, who's like your textbook anime Chad. Gets the ladies, beats the baddies, and cops the sweetest rigs.
Main hero.
Man, and
this motorcycle scene, it's so iconic. So many has mimicked it, has copied it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles copied that. Any other anime who copied this motorcycle scene, it is so iconic. I love it. I love it. I love it. This man is the guy who pulled it off.
need to get me one of those.
And
that's a cool looking bike.
Little brother of the group, Kaneda's best friend, Tetsuo Shima. He's, well,
the exact opposite. A total wimp. As a kid, Tetsuo.
Oh man. Tetsuo Shima, age 19. Oh, he is 5 feet and 4 inches tall. Well, I'm taller than him. He's 103 pounds. Esper number 41. Ex-Capsule Gang member, ex-Clown Gang leader. Director of the Illuminous Great Tokyo and Illustrious Great Tokyo Empire. I can't read because I can't read it. It got smeared off on my end for some reason.
But his college thesis forehead got bullied for being the new kid at the
orphanage. He got a big forehead.
That's until Big Bro Kaneda came to the rescue.
Eventually, the two went to vocational school together and formed the Capsules. But Tetsuo was never satisfied with Kaneda being the leader of the pack.
Of course.
Tetsuo desired more than anything to be top dog.
Oh, I can just see that monkey's paw curling in my mind. Or that kid walking down the street. Shit! Tetsuo, watch out! You're gonna...
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That definitely should have
That
killed
kid
him.
looked like an old man.
But since it didn't, Tetsuo earned himself a ticket to military confinement.
Is that's how it is nowadays? Anime, the government find a kid in Tokyo who survived a motorcycle crash and decide, you know what? They're not gonna miss this kid. Let's make him an experimental. Let's make him our experimental project. They just can pick up random innocent children and start experimenting on them for weaponries. Who writes these stories? Then again, it's really good. It's still a really good series though.
Turns out they had an under-the-table program for developing child super weapons.
Child super weapons. Same thing.
Jump-started the war. Tetsuo became Japan's.
They're working on the same stuff that started the war. They won't leave things alone.
Esper number 41.
He may not have been a natural with bikes, baddies, or babes, but this telekinesis stuff hit
yeah, I
different.
remember
He
this.
walked out of that
It
hospital
get bloody
ward
in this.
effortlessly flying, reading minds, and blending people into strawberry jelly. Tetsuo got what he wanted. Power, along with the hunger for more of it.
Of
Hunger
course.
that used to only be satiated with drugs. And not just any gateway drug. Pills so potent that a single gram of the stuff could kill you.
Dang.
Oh, pretty bad. Kinda reminds me of college days, huh, Snow Wizard?
Tetsuo's main ability is his constantly increasing psionic energy.
Okay, I'm learning a lot about Wiz and Boomstick there in their college days.
Tetsuo's link to,
Good
quote,
to know.
the memories of the universe, end quote. It's weird.
Either way,
Yeah, it is
Tetsuo
weird. It's
leveled
anime.
up from lame
Eskers takes advantage of the flow of the universal energy created by the Big Bang. Its destructive nature is part due to the promoting humanity's evolution. Ah, that makes sense.
gangbuster to certified badass.
It's confusing,
this
but
guy is a
for this
walking
universe.
natural disaster.
Yes.
His telekinesis
He needs
can
a cape,
shake the
of course,
planet,
apparently.
easily cause earthquakes over a dozen miles
Gotta show
below
who's
the
in charge
surface.
by wearing
He
a
can
cape.
summon psychic barriers for defense and crush foes with friggin' gravity wells. He can dart around as a literal bolt of lightning or even teleport in an instant.
Tetsuo's telekinesis can be so
Wow.
precise he can target and obliterate specific parts of the body.
Dang.
He can heal severe wounds.
I didn't know about the teleportation and it can drive and travel like with bolts of lightning. I didn't know about that. Lightning maneuver, telekinesis, psychic barriers, regeneration, inorganic absorption, gravital wells, flight, teleportation, lightning maneuvering, telepathy, continuously growth in power over time, and ego collapse form. Oh, I think I know what they're talking about that form.
Wounds quickly, but even after losing a whole limb, he can craft a new one using whatever nearby materials he wants.
That is true.
With these powers, Top Dog Kaneda didn't matter anymore. Who needed his approval? Tetsuo tasted that good shit and he was hooked. And when he found out another Esper named Akira could deal him even more power, he rampaged through Tokyo to find him.
You want more power.
This is where versions of the story differ.
Oh?
Spoilers ahoy!
You may be familiar with the 1988 animation.
Yes, that's
where
the one I
Akira
saw.
had been dissected for research. However, in the original manga, Akira is not only alive, but even more powerful.
Oh, okay. It's different in the manga. Good to know. I'm learning something about this because I only saw the film. And why does he look like Mob from Mob Psycho 100?
Once that little runt nuked Tokyo, Tetsuo would have
Oh.
wrecked the great Tokyo Empire with Akira and himself as its leaders. But he ended up just abusing the position for endless sex and inflating his ego.
With Kaneda's rebellion at
Okay.
his front
The
door,
power
Tetsuo
can't get in
took
your
a
head.
turn for the worse. He had to fight.
Tetsuo's defeated other powerful Espers, dodged light-speed lasers, and jumped
Got
to
it.
the moon faster than anyone could blink. And then
That's
punched
impressive.
a big old hole in it. And if you ask,
When was this in the
Boomstick,
animated
wouldn't that
movie?
mess up gravity on Earth? You would be right because it totally did.
Yes, it did.
Screwed the planet, I guess. Stupid moon.
Which brings us to Tetsuo's folly.
Oh, this is gonna get gruesome. Given the small crater Tetsuo left on the ground, he did not teleport to the moon. He just have traveled there in about 13 milliseconds. The average image processing speed for a human. Okay. And let's get to the gruesome part right now.
His abuse of his powers spiraled until he lost control. Unfortunately
Yes.
for Kaneda's
This
rebellion,
got crazy.
did not make Tetsuo an easier enemy to confront. Exactly opposite. In fact,
I'm that
as
guy
Tetsuo
right there.
painfully
Its face
mutated
expression.
into an unstoppable behemoth.
Yep. That's not totally disturbing at all.
I'm happy to say
I have memories coming back.
Version is even more disturbing.
Oh,
I mean, I know babies can be monsters.
the manga was worse. That's terrifying.
But that's a whole nother level.
Who
It is
drew
pain
this?
Incarnate. I can relate.
Oh, the people in Japan.
Another Esper described Tetsuo's struggle
Oh, they got
as
really
ego death,
graphic.
which has multiple definitions, but in this case is likely symbolic of the version attributed to drug use.
Yeah, it's described as a shedding
I see the
of one's
symbolism.
own identity, like how LSD can emulate a wild,
I'm
out-of-body
getting
experience,
trippy.
and you come back with a new perspective. Though this is
I'm
maybe
getting
a
really
little
trippy.
more
This is
extreme.
really
In
messing me
fact,
up.
You could say Tetsuo was shedding his human body to
Oh,
play
my
with the
eyes.
powers of a god.
I wish I could shed out of my body.
Oh, wow.
But in this
Rick
case,
and Morty.
Tetsuo going full out of body meant becoming a mound of raw, ever-expanding energy.
Which almost nuked
Ah,
Tokyo all over
got it.
again. And those explosions are not normal. I would know.
Top scientists in both the manga and animated versions
You would
describe
know, huh?
these explosions as births of a new universe.
Given
Really?
its properties of nuclear fusion and proton collapse, Tetsuo's mutated form was likely creating a Big Bang.
You know, the thing
Oh.
that started our whole universe?
Okay, I'm learning a lot from the manga.
Right, in the manga, it instead ended the Espers and their abilities once and for all.
Okay.
A testament that humankind is unsuited to wield the powers of the divine.
Though the anime
Correct.
is even more trippy. Thanks to Akira and his buddies, Tetsuo got so high on ego death, he ascended time-space to become god of a new universe. Kind of work.
Tetsuo attaining omnipotence is not canon in the original manga and cannot be applied to the average levels of power. Okay. So getting the powers that are godlike omnipotence, that was never happened in the original book. That was just shown in the anime. The differences from animation and the book.
Worth it, right?
And yet, Kaneda kept his empire up in his honor, now as the Great Akira Empire. Ironically, in death, Tetsuo finally received the attention he so desperately craved.
Oh, good for him.
And your name is? I'm Thor. You're Thor? Well, it hurts. Once again, this whole broadcast has been brought to you by sand. It's everywhere. Get used to it.
And we're back.
All right, the combatants are set.
All
We've
right.
run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death
I know people don't like my
battle!
VTuber avatar, but hey, in the future, I will get a better one. And it's gonna be full body this time. Full body, more expression.
Even in Japan,
I hope so, depending on who will help me out on this.
Wrong country, Grandpa. You're an Akira turf now.
Okay. All right, we're off to a good start with a good fight. Okay, Tetsuo takes the first hit. Let's go.
You're dead meat.
Wow. Hungry for blood. All right. Magneto, what are you doing now?
impudent child.
Yes, he
What the
is.
hell are you calling child?
Well,
I
you
make
still
the rules
are.
around here.
I like the effects of their abilities.
You're wasting my time.
Oh, already got his arm
All
cut.
the tricks for the master of magnetism.
Let's throw a building at him.
I'll kill you!
Oh, I forgot about that. He can't do that in the manga. He did that in the manga.
History, scumbag!
Ooh. Okay. Did he just headbutt the building with his forehead? Oh, yeah, this went from Dragon Ball Z levels. Oh, wow. The Earth. He lost his helmet. You broke the helmet. Oh, dear. Okay.
I believe I've had enough tantrums to last a lifetime.
Good to know. Oh, crap. Yeah. Magneto. He's like, what did I am witnessing? Ugh. Ugh. Oh, wow. That's freaky. Ugh.
Help me.
Oh. Are they going for a mercy? Is he going for a mercy kill? That is true. He can manipulate the iron in your blood and make weapons like that. Oh.
Poor child.
Okay. Magneto's power is insane. Oh, wow. Oh.
Thank you.
He said thank you.
You are welcome.
So it was a mercy kill. Oh, man. Wow. This was amazing.
KO! Tetsuo! I'm never doing that again.
Good for you, because that it's very difficult to hold that for very long.
Tetsuo's esoteric telekinesis.
Okay, let's see. Magneto was stronger, faster, and tougher. His magnetism counters Tetsuo's offense. Magnetic senses counters Tetsuo's mobility. Although he's weak, he has weaker healing options. Tetsuo could eventually grow even more powerful if this fight lasted longer. Okay. Tetsuo's advantages. Tetsuo could kill Magneto without his shield. His telekinesis had a bolder range of effect. Although his weakness, though, through his application was less versatile. Over exaggerates wrist body harm, far less combat technical experience, and he has less technical combat experience. That makes sense. Combat and tactical experience. So he's not a tactical
This another bizarre ability certainly gave Magneto pause, but the Master of Magnetism had greater control over his foe.
That is true.
The numbers don't lie. Tetsuo cratering the moon was insane, but Magneto punched Iron Man with the force of the sun.
That's
and while
crazy.
Tetsuo jumped all the way to the moon, Magneto
And the fact that Iron Man survived that is
galaxies.
impressive too.
Against Tetsuo in his human form, Magneto obviously held a sizable advantage.
Without his barriers, Tetsuo was easily powerful enough to kill Magneto. However, those barriers can withstand attacks from Thor's hammer and Hercules, who are far more stronger than Tetsuo. That is also true.
But stats aren't all that matters. With his precise telekinesis, Tetsuo could just target Magneto's organs. GG, right?
That is
Yes,
true.
but Magneto had similar skills. There are very few substances on Earth that lack any metallic or magnetic components.
Correct.
And Magneto is very creative.
Yes, he is. I have seen him do crazy stuff.
Tetsuo's teleportation and even shut down his telekinesis. And his scraps with Xavier prove he could handle Tetsuo's messing with his head.
Right. Given that Tetsuo was put out of commission after attempting to read Akira's mind, it's likely that with Magneto's greater array of abilities, the same would happen here. So this wouldn't be the first time Magneto has someone go into his mindset, because far more powerful telepaths such as Professor X, Jean Grey, and Emma Frost, yeah, Magneto has gotten used to that.
The biggest challenge for Magneto was when Tetsuo's gross mutated power came into play.
Especially given how the detonations from this form were compared to that of a Big Bang. Although the authenticity of that observation is questionable. In truth, the Big Bang was a sudden expansion of matter on a universal scale, whereas Tetsuo's explosions are more akin to nuclear blasts, clearly intentional given the post-war symbolism of the Akira story.
Yes, it is.
Creating an alternate universe bit wasn't even part of the original material, so we can't exactly call it canon.
But let's just say the comparison wasn't superfluous. Let's say Tetsuo did in fact cause a Big Bang capable of creating or destroying an entire universe, alternate or otherwise.
Turns out Magneto had the tools to stop that too. Helmet Head could overpower Hercules, who was strong enough to hold up the skies of Olympus, which is literally heaven and an alternate universe.
Magneto's crazy powerful.
This doesn't necessarily mean Magneto could easily destroy a universe with a snap of his fingers, but it does prove he can match a similar level of power.
They're not saying, like they say, they're not saying that Magneto can destroy the universe. It's saying that he can match up to that level with his abilities. His abilities can match up to it.
Context is everything. Tetsuo's Big Bang eruption specifically exhibited proton collapse, meaning its atomic structure was primarily an unstable mess of neutrons and electrons. And Magneto has detected and commanded unstable electrons before. This means Magneto had every means available to take
that explains why he was able to do that.
Damn, and I thought he could just move some metal around.
Yeah, it shows that Fox movies, X-Men, Fox Century has never showed the full potential of the X-Men, of what they can do. And like Bedlam Stick says, and he thought, that's a weird drawing of his hand. They only thought that Magneto can just control metal and like a magnet. In the comics, Magneto can do so much more than that. And it's a shame that Fox Century, the Fox Century of the X-Men has never reached that level of power before, because I don't know, for some strange unknown reason. I mean, they gave us a reason why Wolverine will never wear the costume in the films, because they said it was stupid and will never work in films. Yet you have Deadpool, and Deadpool wear the full costume in his own film, and the Avengers can pull it off. Why can't Wolverine? Heck, all you got to do is get one of Black Panther's costumes, well, the mask, and rip off the mouthpiece and redesign it, and there, you got your Wolverine costume. It's as simple as that. That's my idea, though. I don't know what Marvel's gonna do.
It's like the question posed by some of the greatest prophets of our time. Fucking magnets. How do they even work?
Magneto's astonishing power and intelligent control over
I knew you would say that somehow.
Triumphed in the end.
Tetsuo pushed his luck, but didn't have the metal to pull off the win.
Nice.
The winner is Magneto.
Congratulations, Magneto. All right, who is next? Who is next?
If you'd like to directly support the whole
nice couch, by the way.
Click that join button and consider becoming a member. We'd really
saw these two.
It. Hope you like the next one.
Who's next? Next time. Wait, Hercules? Oh, yeah. Hercules versus Sun Wukong. Well, that was Magneto versus Tetsuo. Magneto wins. This was a really good battle. I enjoyed this one. I learned a lot about Tetsuo and Magneto, abilities that I didn't know Magneto had, because it's been a long time since I read the comic books of the Marvel Universe. And I know Magneto was extremely powerful, because I was going to learn a lot. This is the thing about like these death battles. I'm learning a lot about these characters and their abilities, and I'm also angry how the movies hasn't reached the full potential of their powers yet. Anywho, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little reaction video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. What were your thoughts on this? Did you enjoy the battle? Let me know. What were your thoughts on Magneto's abilities and Tetsuo? Leave a comment down below. As always, take care, have a great day, be safe, and most importantly, stay frosty and stay healthy out there. Catch you all later, and make sure to wash your hands. Bye! Also, a special thank you for all the members of my Patreon. Special shout out, you know who you are. There's a list right here. Some of you are members of the Patreon, some of you are not, are just following. But to those who are members of Patreon, you know who you are. I want to say thank you guys for all of your support. And to the newest member, Odd Eyes Masters 12, thank you for being a member of my Patreon.
You're the newest, you're the current newest one right now so far. I want to say thank you guys. You guys are the best. Take care, and I look forward to the next video reacting with you guys.
I was frozen today!